Hi everyone, I'm Miss Anna from the Aldersburg Library. I'm the only one here, which is why I don't have my mask on. Excuse the pile of furniture in my background. This room is currently also being used for storage. But regardless of my chair pile, I am here today to show you guys how to 3D print a photo. And we're going to be making something today called a lithophane. A lithophane is an image that appears when it is lit from behind with any source of light. And lithophanes have actually been around since the 1820s. They used to make them out of wax. And we're going to be making ours out of 3D printer filament. So I'm going to show you a sample. This is a picture of my dog. You can kind of see it looks like this. It's real hard to see on camera. The one I have here is about the size of a playing card. But you can make them all sorts of sizes. You can make them real big, real small. But I'm going to try, yes, there you go. You can see it. When I hold it up to light, you can see the image of my dog appears in his silly party hat. So way up close, you can't really see it. You can just see like the grooves of it. But if I take it away and put light through it, you can see that image. Isn't that super cool? And it looks so much more detailed than you can tell through the camera. You can actually see it really well when you're in person. But I'm going to show you guys how to make a 3D print file that you're going to send in to me. And I'm going to print on our expiration point 3D printer and send back to you guys. Before I start showing you the website that we use to make our lithophanes, the first thing you're going to need to do is decide what picture you want to use. You probably want something that's not like super detailed, like not something that has like dozens of people in it, but something with a photo with a few people or photo of your pet. Photos work perfectly, and it doesn't even have to necessarily be a photo. If you've got like a screenshot from something you like a lot or a character you like, an image that you'd like that looks like a really pretty decoration that you'd like to have in your house. You can even try art that you made yourself. I can't promise it'll turn out, but you can give it a go. Any image that can be backlit and you see the details. A lot of people do photos, but you're 100% welcome to try non-photos. Again, I can't promise how it'll turn out, but we can give it a go. So once you pick out a picture, make sure you have it saved to your computer that you're going to be using to create your file. So I'm going to open up this website, and you'll get a link to this website in the email. Everybody will get an email about this program once you sign up. That'll give you more specific instructions, and you'll get a link here in your email. But we're going to go to a website called lithophanemaker.com. You can see the URL way up here. And we're going to scroll down. You'll see there's all these different options. If you have access to a 3D printer, you can make lamps, you can make cubes, all sorts of cool stuff. But we're going to go up here and we're just going to make a flat one. We're just going to be trying it out today. So we're going to click Flat Lithophane Maker. And next we need to choose a file. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to get that picture. I'm going to use the same picture I used for the sample. So I'm going to go over here where it says Choose File. And I'm going to go to my pictures. And I'm going to grab this photo of my dog. His name is Calvin. He's a very good boy. I'm going to open that. And you'll see down here, here's my picture. And unless you change the settings, it'll crop it to that square. So there's multiple things you can do here. You can play with this. You click these little arrows and then click out, and it changes the size and the placement of the square. If you click the Y shift, it changes that. And if you click here, I believe it should change the size of the rectangle. And if you go up here where it says height, and then look at the square here, you can type in a different number, and it'll change the size, as you can see here. But if you don't want your image cropped, and this is the easiest thing to do, you can just unclick this button here, and then it'll just print your entire photo. And that's what I want to do. So I'm just going to unclick crop. And there is one more really important thing to do where it says frame options. We need to click no border. Unfortunately, the 3D printer we have here at the Aldersburg branch doesn't print the border very well. So we're just going to print something flat. So make sure that you click no border. And from there, it asks you for an email. I'm just going to plug in my own. It won't send you anything. Just plug in whatever email you want to do. And then click create. And then we wait for it to download. Alright, now we can double click on that. Let it do its thing. and double click where it says Window Lithophane Photo. Once again, let it do its thing. Let it load for a moment. We have a 3D print file. You can see the etching of the picture there, and we can see what it looks like. Excuse me. We got the etched dog there. It's all ready to print. So your next step is going to be to send that in so I can 3D print it. So once you've made your file, you're next going to need to send it in to be printed. So you're going to go into the files on your computer after you've clicked that Create File button and go to your downloads. And you'll see something that says Window Lithophane Photo. This is the one you want. So you're going to right-click that and copy it. And just save a backup somewhere. Save it to your documents maybe. I'm going to go into my documents and I have a file called library and I'm going to go paste. And I'm going to right click that, and when you right click it, you can rename the file, and I'm going to call it, I'm going to write my name, and then I'm going to write Lithophane. Lithophane. And that way I'll know which file belongs to which person. And we're just going to leave that like that. I'm actually going to go into my downloads again, if I can find them. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to right click the one that says Window Lithophane Photo, and you're going to want the one that has an icon that's a little square with a triangle inside it. And I'm going to rename that. I'm going to rename it Anna Johns, and remember, you'll do that with your own name, Lithophane, and then that should be saved. I'm going to close out of that, and next I'm going to open an email, and you're going to send this email to AJOH, it would help if I could type, AJOHNS at carr.org. This is my email address, and you will get more info of this, of course, in your email. And you're going to make the subject your name, Lithophane. So that way I'll know which Lithophane belongs to who. And then you're going to go down to this little paper clip, and it'll look like a paper clip no matter what kind of email you're using, to attach some files. So it opened my pictures. I'm going to give 2 files. I'm going to first go into my downloads, and I'm going to grab my Lithophane, and it'll say it'll be sent as a Google Drive link. That's fine. So that's going to be in there. And then I'm going to go in to wherever I saved my photo, and I'm going to grab my photo too. And I'm going to send in my photo. And the reason you're going to send that is so that I have a backup, so that if something goes wrong with your file while it's being sent, I can still make your Lithophane by just putting it in the Lithophane maker. And then just I'm just going to write my name. Just to be safe, just type that in again, and then click send. And that'll be sent to me at the library, and I'll get your Lithophane printed. Alright, now I am over here by the 3D printer, because I thought y'all might enjoy seeing the process of setting it up to print. And in order to 3D print, my headphones are tangled, we use this filament. It's called PLA, and it comes in these big reels. I'm going to use pink, just because we have a lot of pink. And it comes in a spool like this. It's like a hard plastic. Let's see if do the makeup tutorial thing, see if you can see it. And this gets plugged into the machine over here. And the 3D printer does something called an additive process, which means it's creating it from scratch. That this nozzle right here, which will be very, very hot, so don't touch it if you ever see it in a process, will melt down the filament and create layers. And all of these layers will build up on each other. I think you can see it really well on this ghost we have over here, that it starts with one layer at the bottom, and you see each of these little lines is a new layer. So it just builds up and up and up until you have a finished product. And you can make something 3D, you can make something 2D, you can make pretty much whatever you want with a 3D printer filament. And I've seen people do all sorts of cool things. I've seen people make figurines, I've made keychains and stuff like that, and little model kits for friends and family and for programs. I've seen people make parts for a robot to replace a piece that was missing from a kit, or a piece of furniture. There's all sorts of things. Scientists use these. Um, I saw this really cool video where they 3D printed a beak for a bird that had lost their beak. There's some really awesome stuff out there if you look it up. So I'm going to start by turning the printer on, and then let me see if you can see it. We're going to go to this software called Cura, and I already have it uploaded. You can see my file there. I'm going to print it flat like that. It's going to be about the size of a playing card, and it's going to take 38 minutes to print. A really big file can take hours. And I don't think I need to generate supports, but I'll keep that there anyway. That's if you print something that has freestanding parts, the printer needs to support it so it doesn't come apart. So there's pieces that you need to break off. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to make sure the 3D printer is connected. And I am going to preheat it. And then, I can't imagine that's too fun to watch, the hot 3D printer getting hot. So I'm going to pause here and I'll show you when it's time to insert the filament into the nozzle. Okay, so now the 3D printer is hot. And you can actually see, let's drag this over, that there's some green filament there. The last filament I used was green, and there's still some in the machine. And we're going to have to filter that out. But there's a teeny little hole up here, and I'm just going to shove the pink filament through there. And it should all start coming out. And I'm going to do something called extruding, where I'm going to make a little bit of the filament come out. I'm going to set it to about, I'm going to go over here, scroll down, and this is going to filter out all the green so that there's just pink left. I'm going to hit 10, and I'm going to extrude. And there you see that it's going to start coming out of the machine, the filament. And I can filter out all of the pink. Alright, and now that I've filtered it through, I'm going to click Start Print, and the 3D printer will do its thing. It's going to take about 38 minutes to print. So I will check in a few minutes to show you guys the very beginning of it printing, and then I'll show it to you when it's all done. Alright, so quick update. You can see that our print has started going. We've got the very base of it. It's making a kind of flat surface here. You can see the 3D printer going back and forth, and it's building that first layer row by row. And that's that additive process. It's going row by row by row. And I accidentally shut the computer. Hopefully that doesn't mess anything up. Nope, we're all good. And once it's done, I'll show you guys the finished product. Alright, it is about 38 minutes later. And here is our finished 3D print. I'm going to bring this over here so you can see. There it is on the build plate. That's what that plate is called. And it's been there long enough that I think the plate won't be hot anymore. Yeah. This plate gets hot too. Not super hot, but if it's been cooling, you can touch it. So I don't think, a lot of times you need to use this knife to pry it off. But I think I'll be able to get it off without the knife. Oop, I lied. So I'm going to carefully take that knife. There we go. And here is our lithophane. And here is it, just it plain. But I'm going to spin it around. Oh, you can see that perfectly with the lighter color. Here you can see the picture of my dog in his party hat. This was on his birthday. That turned out so well, guys. Oh my goodness. I'm very excited. And once you guys send me your pictures, I'll be able to do the same thing with yours and send them back to you. So once each lithophane is printed, I will put it in an envelope with your name on it, and I'll email you individually. Again, this will all be outlined in your instruction email. And you'll get an email when it's time to come pick up your lithophane, and you'll be able to get it from the Eldersburg Library, most likely at the info desk. So let's look at that one more time. I think that is super cool. There's all sorts of cool things you can do. Oh, excuse me. There's all sorts of cool things you can do with it. You can set this in a window and use it kind of as a sun catcher. Set it on a bookshelf, and when people ask what it is, you can hold it up to light and everyone will be very impressed. I just think this is a very fun activity and a fun thing to try out 3D printing. Again, they're about playing card size, so I'll see if I can make them a little bigger for you guys. We'll see how much of a limit we have. But other than that, that's going to about wrap up our video. I hope you all had fun. I hope you all really enjoy how your lithophanes turn out. If you have any questions, you can email me at ajohns@cair.org, and I'll be sure to check them. And I hope you have a good day. Bye!